there. My name is Matt Cole.
And I'm Brian Garrity.
We are the producers of the Sexperts Podcast, and we have a very special guest. First time ever, but we've known her for a long time. Welcome to the show, Lauren Hurston.
Hello, good to be here.
Good to see you again. And we just chit-chatted before pre-interview about how long we've known each other and all that sort of stuff. And we won't bore you guys with those details. But yeah, we've known you since before the Push Comedy Theater was the Push Comedy Theater. And the Pushers were teaching classes at the Muse Writer Center in Norfolk. That was all the way back in, like you said, 2011, 2012, that sort of era. And since then,
there was a lot of chit chat, but it was good chit chat.
It was good chit chat. We were warming you up. What have you been doing since then? Since you moved away from Hampton Roads?
Hampton Roads. Well, I'm in Staunton, VA now, which is southwest. Well, I don't know. Some people know Staunton, some people don't. It's kind of like a weird place that some people are like, "Oh yeah, Staunton," and people are like, "I have no idea what that is."
Right.
So, but yeah, so as you guys know, I started Hugbox, which is a sketch comedy group back in the day.
Yes.
And now there's kind of Hugbox 2.0, which it's some people that just really like live comedy, and it's really cool. And started up a production company so that we can put on shows. Of course, COVID year. It's been a very COVID year.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this.
Yeah.
Yeah. We heard of it.
Wow. And that's actually why I started to hit record, because I was like, oh, stop right there. I wanted to talk about, so you talked about taking sketch comedy classes at Push. And then I want to talk about Hugbox, because you guys, I mean, I think you may have moved away at some point right after that, but you and James Roach and I think Deb and maybe somebody else, but as Hugbox, like, you guys did some really, really fun stuff. Like, I still have memories of you guys doing some really hilarious things. I'm glad to hear that you are still doing that stuff in Staunton.
Yeah. So when I came here, there wasn't really much of a comedy scene, as pretentious as that sounds. Comedy scene here is like kind of like, but no, like it's just there was a lot of theater, because we have the Shakespeare.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of theater people, and there's a lot of theater going around.
Right.
But there's not a whole lot of comedy or like improv or anything like silly. It's all kind of serious. So I got to meet a bunch of people, and they were really into doing something that was like just silly, like something like what Push people would like. And I was like, good to know, because I have scripts that I have written for my friends at Push Comedy Theater. So I plug you guys all the time.
That's awesome.
And so it's just a group of like 6 or 7 people, and they change, like some people are in, some people are out, but it's a core group of people.
That is so cool. Well, I haven't kept up with you, and maybe you talked to Brian about this stuff, but I'm really, really, really happy, because, like I said, and you said as well, the teachers at Push, Adam Payne and Sean Devereaux, they loved your stuff, and we did as well. So I always think it's a shame when people even if they don't want to, like make any money off this stuff, they just like quit it as a hobby. They're just like, yeah, I don't really write anymore. Yeah, I don't really do any fun stuff. I don't do any improv or anything like that. It's always such a sad thing. Now, I have a dumb question. Okay, please don't hate me. And I hate having this recorded. But is Staunton and Staunton the same place?
No. Okay,
so there are two separate things. It's not just a dialect thing.
No, Staunton is the phonetic. Is that the way? Is the phonetic pronunciation? But Staunton is the way that it's pronounced. So yeah, people from out of town say Staunton, and it's really like Stanton. The same way like people come to Norfolk and they're like Norfolk.
Okay.
Norfolk.
Okay, so I now that clears up everything. If it's a Norfolk thing, then I understand it. So I've been saying it like a jackass for years. I've been saying Staunton.
Isn't Staunton like the official end of Interstate 64?
Yeah, I've never actually thought about it like that.
Mean, that's a claim to fame right there. And like I like to sometimes drive to Suffolk, where the other end of 64 is, and just kind of sit there and think about how you're on the other end of it. And
yeah,
is that
I appreciate that, Brian Garrity.
So
I will be on the other end of 64, and just think when you're at the other end that I will be at the other end. It's going to be like a connection.
I wish there was a way to send a message in a bottle over an interstate like you would an ocean.
If you want to just text me like, hey, I'm at the other end of 64, I'll be like, all right.
All right, I guess that'll do till we figure the message in the bottle thing out.
So you described your group as Hugbox 2.0. Is that what it's called, or what are you guys called?
No, we're just called Hugbox. I kind of just like legacied the thing because I couldn't think of a better name.
Yeah, I can't wait till I officially quit the Brian Garrity and Matt Cole Sexperts. I'm gonna go do a Sexperts thing on my own a little bit later, maybe at the other end of 64.
Well, I was gonna say you and I are so good with names.
One end of 64, Matt Cole, and you'll find the answer there.
I was gonna say you and I are so good at names. Like, Pizza Party. That's such a great name.
Yeah, we have the 5 names that we like, and we'll just keep on reusing them whenever the shit falls away.
Fun fact about Matt Cole's writing: every sketch, the male character has the same name, and the female character has the same name. He can't come up with other names.
It's Matt Cole and Molly.
No, it's Nick and Molly.
Well, and sometimes I throw.
Well, if there's 2 male characters, one's Nick, one's Matt Cole, because he has to go with his own name if there's 2 male characters.
So Nick and Matt Cole. That's it, or is it Nicole?
No. Yeah, Nick was my good friend. He's still my good friend, but we known each other since middle school. And Molly, same. We used to date and that sort of thing. So, go with what you know, I would say. So Hugbox or Hugbox 2.0. Are you? Here's a good one. Are you doing any like online shows, virtual shows, social distance shows, anything like that?
Funny you should bring that up. We have a video that we did of a sketch that I wrote called Peggy Perkins. I don't know if you remember that, but it was.
I do remember Peggy Perkins.
Are you serious?
Wasn't that in Panties in a Twist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we kind of developed it a little bit and made this whole video. And again, it's like COVID times have kind of screwed everyone. And I think that so basically, short story, long story short, there is a video that we have we are producing that we just need to get by our production person. And we have a lot of things. This is kind of a strange question to answer because, since COVID times, we had a lot of ideas. So we were meeting on the regular, let's do this, let's do that. And just throughout the year, they just fell through. And it was really strange because they were really good ideas, but it almost was and we would get through to a very this is ready to go point. And then something would happen. I can tell a whole story about this, but it just didn't work out. And so I think it's just at this point, I'm all right, 2020 is a wash.
Yeah.
We have I have a whole show, a live show that's ready to be written. I have a radio play.
Nice.
It's a lot of stuff that we've been working on, but for one reason or another, COVID times just it just didn't happen. It just didn't work out. So at one point I had to be I'm just gonna give in, it's not meant to be. And that's what happens sometimes. I'm really glad to hear that you guys have been keeping up this podcast because it makes my heart smile.
Well, thank you. Yeah. And I'm so glad this is actually, and I'll say this about Brian, I usually rag on him, but he's always kind of pushed for us to get a remote setup going. When we started this back, maybe 3 years ago, he's we have to reach out and get some big fish, some big guests, and he has. And he's gotten some people who came into Norfolk and were touring, but he's always what about we could ask Kevin Hart wherever Kevin Hart is in the world, we can zoom in.
You hear that, Kevin Hart, your dream guest.
Wait. Where's the Kevin Hart episode?
I know, right? But so finally, this forced us to kind of shift and change, and I was okay, well, we just got to get this going. And I definitely feel for you, Lauren, and it really sucks that happened, and I'm sorry. Everything sucks right now, but I feel for you most because my number one thing about like any project, and especially comedy stuff, is momentum. And as soon as like something gets in the way and you lose a little bit of momentum, people start going like, oh, well, I guess that's not a thing anymore. It's like, no, hold on. Just stay on board. Like, we'll get it going. Just wait another day or whatever. They're like, don't worry about it. And then all of a sudden just things fall apart and it's like the center cannot hold, man.
Yeah. That's exactly what's happening. But like the good thing is that working with really good people, and they're like so fucking talented. And I've been trying to get Sean or you or Brian to do an improv kind of 101 kind of brush up to like with my group, because
cool.
I don't know if anyone's had like improv training the way that we have.
In Staunton? Well, you now I do know that if he has made it this far, Sean Devereaux does listen to this in interview portion. So Sean Devereaux, there's interest for an out of town improv 101.
Come to Staunton. Actually, don't come to Staunton because we don't want your COVID pass here.
Well, it's very easy to get there. You just get on 64 and you stay until the end.
If you need direction, Sean,
just drive on 64. It's very, very easy.
Keep going to the end and make a right.
Hey, that's momentum for you. Just keep on going on 64. Just keep on going.
Boom, we brought it all back together.
Well, listen, Lauren, and I don't know if you know, but we do like live streams through Facebook Live and YouTube every Friday and Saturday on earprov.com. And we would love to have you. This is your official invitation, or for any of your Hugbox people or anything like that, because we like I said, we like bringing in people from other places now that not a whole lot of people are able to do stuff due to COVID. So keep us in mind. We'll keep you guys in mind. Keep each other working. And thank you so much for being on this show. It's been a while coming. Anything coming up immediately that you want to plug, or any websites, social media, anything like that?
I know that the Peggy Perkins video is coming out very soon. So stay tuned. Hugbox and tendersuper.com. Tender Super Productions. That's a production company that I founded.
You said Tender Super?
Tender Super.
Can you spell that? Tender Super?
TenderSuper. Tender Super.
Oh, like tender love?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like tender love.
Like what are the first two words you think of when you think of Brian Garrity? Wow, that was a mouthful.
Okay.
Exactly. That's exactly why I named it that.
Oh, Brian.
It might as well be called Brian Garrity Productions.
Can I speak to Brian of Brian Garrity Productions? He doesn't work here. All right. Well, thank you so much, Lauren Hurston. And check out Hugbox and the Peggy Perkins video, which I can't wait to see that. Tendersuper.com, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Alrighty, we're on to the episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.